Imagine knowing that tonight might be your very last breath. What words would you leave behind, not just for your loved ones, but for generations yet unborn? In 1847, a dying pastor named Henry Francis Light, frail and fading from tuberculosis, sat at his desk as twilight fell across the English coast. With trembling hands, he wrote verses so powerful they would be whispered on World War I battlefields, sung at royal funerals, and clung to in hospital rooms where hope seemed gone. This is the unforgettable story behind one of history's most enduring hymns, Abide With Me. Henry Francis Light was born in 1793 in Scotland. His childhood was marked by profound pain. His father abandoned the family, leaving young Henry with a loneliness that would follow him for life. Yet in brokenness, Light discovered poetry, music, and an unshakable faith. He wasn't wealthy or famous. He was a pastor in a small Devonshire village, faithfully serving for over 2 decades. But for much of his adult life, he battled a relentless enemy, tuberculosis, one of the deadliest diseases of the 19th century. The disease weakened him, stealing his strength breath by breath. By the summer of 1847, Light knew the end was near. His body was frail, his breathing shallow, yet his spirit was anything but weak. In the shadows, he found an unbreakable trust in God's presence. On his final Sunday, September 4th, 1847, Light stood before his congregation one last time. Frail and trembling, he preached his farewell sermon, urging his flock to cling to Christ in life's darkest hours. That evening, as twilight fell and the eventide deepened, Light returned to his study. With death at his door, he picked up his pen. What poured out was not a song of despair, but a hymn of hope, a prayer that even in death, he would not walk alone. The opening lines pierced the heart. Abide with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens. Lord, with me abide. In his weakness, he reached for God. This hymn was not polished poetry crafted in comfort. It was raw, honest, unfiltered prayer from a man who knew his time was measured in days, not years. He admits his fears when other helpers fail and comforts flee, pleads for strength, and confesses that human friends may fail, but God never will. That is why Abide With Me resonates so deeply. It is not triumph shouted from a mountaintop, but faith whispered in the valley, a song for every soul who has felt the night closing in and cried, Lord, stay near. Weeks after writing his hymn, Light boarded a ship for France, hoping the warmer climate would ease his suffering. But his body was too weak. On November 20th, 1847, Henry Francis Light died in Nice, France, at just 54 years old. But his hymn did not die with him. Within years, Abide With Me spread far beyond his small parish. In 1861, composer William Henry Monk, grieving the loss of his own daughter, set Light's words to music, creating the haunting melody, Eventide. Words of farewell met music of mourning. And together they gave birth to a hymn that would outlive its author by centuries. Soon, it was no longer just Light's personal prayer. It became the prayer of countless hearts across the world, carrying comfort to places light could never have imagined. In the muddy trenches of World War I, soldiers sang "Abide with Me" under starless skies, their voices trembling as they prepared for battle. During World War II, its melody floated through air raid shelters and over fields of loss, offering hope when hope seemed impossible. In 1936, the hymn was sung at the funeral of King George V, its solemn notes filling Westminster Abbey. Decades later, when the Queen Mother was laid to rest, the same words echoed through those ancient walls. "Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes." But beyond royal halls and state memorials, "Abide with Me" found its truest home in the quiet corners of ordinary life. It was sung in small country churches, around family pianos, and in hospital rooms where families kept vigil. Those who felt grief, fear, or isolation found comfort in Light's words. This is the paradox of "Abide with Me," majestic enough for kings, intimate enough for the humblest soul. Its melody carries both solemnity and hope, and its words speak truth across generations and cultures. Why has "Abide with Me" endured for nearly 2 centuries? Because every generation confronts its own darkness. Wars end, yet fear remains. Monarchs pass, yet grief remains. Loved ones die, yet longing remains. We cannot escape suffering. We cannot stop time. But in Light's words, we find courage. His hymn does not deny sorrow, but embraces it. It gives language to our weakness and points us toward hope. It assures us that when earthly strength fails, God's strength remains. The hymn speaks to the deepest human need, the need for presence, the need to know we are not alone. When Light wrote, "Help of the helpless, oh abide with me," he was not speaking as a man of theory or comfort. He was speaking as one who knew what it meant to feel helpless, to feel strength leaving his body, to know the end was coming. And yet, in that moment of ultimate vulnerability, he discovered an unshakable truth: God abides. Even when health fails, even when friends cannot stay, even when life itself is slipping away, God abides. As Henry Light slipped into eternity in 1847, his prayer lived on. Today, each time the hymn is sung, his voice joins ours in a chorus of faith that spans centuries. Abide with me. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Hymns Unveiled for powerful new hymn stories every single week. Each one revealing the faith, courage, and hope behind the songs that have shaped generations. Tap the bell so you never miss an episode, and join a community of hymn lovers who find strength in these timeless melodies. Which hymn has carried you through your darkest moment? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might be the hope someone else needs today. Let's keep the legacy of these hymns alive together. Subscribe, share, and let the music speak.